Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an angel therapy practitioner, Reiki master, intuitive guide, and empowerment coach. And I'm here today with this week's Pick an Angel card reading. This is an interactive experience where you pose a question to spirit and allow your intuition to lead you to which spread would be most appropriate for to get the answer to your question. Today happens to be St. Patrick's Day, 2021. And I have to say it's 2 days before my beautiful dog Lucky's birthday. So happy birthday to Lucky. And let's get on with our spreads. What I do is I pick an angel card from the Kyle Gray deck, Angels and Ancestors. And this first card, it sets a tone for the spread. And then I'm going to go into the 4-card spread using Doreen Virtue's Angels, Messages from Your Angels, and Colette Baron Reed's Legend of Avalon. The first position represents the foundational position, the energy with which we're starting off. As you pose your question, where are we starting? The second position will represent the opportunity and or the obstacle. One coin, two sides. Every opportunity has an inherent obstacle. Every obstacle has an inherent opportunity. The third position represents the angel's advice for taking advantage of the opportunity or getting around the obstacle. And the final position represents the potential outcome, the energetic dynamic as a result of the journey you've taken this week. So for those of you that picked Angel Reading A, our first card, our Kyle Gray card, is the High Priest, Intend and Create. And this is really a theme for no matter what your question is, to set a strong intention to Spirit about what you want to experience. In many ways, this is not about the road to getting to your creation, but the intention you have for the experience of your creation. And the idea of intend and create is to acknowledge that you are a co-creator. And that co-creation is not necessarily based on the actions that you're taking, but your belief, your attitude, and your disposition about what you are intending to create as you endeavor this project or this dynamic. Because being aware of your intention and being aware of your energetic vibration and your belief about the viability of your intention is going to be very influential over the manifestation of that intention. So let's start with our angel reading. First position, we have Yvonne and we have the dog. Yvonne is a card of vulnerability. And the dog is about loyalty, about unconditional love and sincerity. And what I want to say for those of you that picked Angel Reading A is that this is really about being loyal to your vulnerability in the idea of wanting to create something. When we birth anything, whether we give life to an actual child, a project, an idea that we want to experience, we are going to feel a sense of vulnerability to its manifestation. We tend to think this will make me happy. So what I'm believing that Spirit is saying is we're walking on a platform. For those of you that picked Angel Reading A, the first step is to be vulnerable and to be sincere to Spirit about what you intend to create. Your opportunity and or your obstacle is to realize that in some ways you're at the end of a life cycle. And in doing so, it offers you a new birth, a birth and a rebirth. This is not about throwing the old out, about building on top of it. It's about assessing what old beliefs, what old thoughts and dynamics are serving you and what may be habitual from a time that is actually expired or no longer relevant to how you've evolved within this lifetime. Because it is time to acknowledge what is no longer viable. And while these experiences may have an emotional charge, it's time to decipher whether you want to carry those emotional charges with you moving forward, because Spirit is offering you a rebirth. In the angel's advice, It's the, this is really, for those of you that picked angel reading A, you're going to have a bit of a chiming in from your ego telling you, are you sure? Are you sure that you are deserving of what it is you want? Are you sure that you can do this? Are you sure? Do you know how that's going to play out? And Rochella says, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you. So this is really more about deciding. The angels are asking you, where is your ego telling you no? And where is your heart telling you yes? And what are you going to listen to? Because the foundational aspect of this reading is to be vulnerable to your own intention and what you want to experience, and to be loyal to that. Because in the final position, we have the B, which represents sweet victory and good luck. And we have Crystal saying that there's new things on the horizon that you can't see, new experiences, new people, new energies that will align for you, which what will appear to come out of nowhere. They will seem so initially random, but what they are is synchronicity, and they are synchronicities to your deeper intention to create and your willingness to be vulnerable during a time when one thing seems to be closing as you begin to build on the other. And your ego may say, are you sure? And your heart will say yes. And your job is to believe your heart and then to take action, but not until you have once again gone back to determine what is your energetic platform when you start. Are you willing to be vulnerable to the unknown road of manifestation? You know, we have, it's kind of like a movie. We start with the first act, which is the inspiration, okay, the inspiration of an idea. And then there's the initial actions towards the idea, which is kind of like the second act of a movie. And then usually there's a crisis at the end of the second act. And our heroine must, or hero, must be brave enough to push through that crisis in order to get what they want. And that is what this reading is about today. Are you willing to be vulnerable enough to sit in an unknown place so that spirit can bring you an experience that shows that you are victorious and then lead you to the next viable and inspired action? All right, let's go on to angel reading B. Our first card will be the winter card. Take care of your needs. It's very interesting because we're in the very last few days of winter. In fact, Friday, the 19th will be the last day of winter here in the Western Hemisphere. And I feel like this is really an opportunity to reassess, to in some ways hibernate, but not in a way of shutting out the world, but more assessing what it is that is important to you and what it is that you need moving forward. Because in our first position is Azure saying your desired outcome will happen in the near future. Have patience and faith and don't force it. Force is actually a resistant energy based on fear. There's an underlying energy that's saying, I'm unsure, and I'm unsure to a point where I feel I must push on it. This is where the novice comes in, because this is about practicing not pushing. It's about opening your arms, being ready to defy gravity as you leap off of a lily pad of fear into the unknown as you begin this venture with your eyes on the prize of what you want to experience. Because in the opportunity and or the obstacle is Teresa and the frog. And for me, Teresa's representing other people's opinions, other people's assessment of what it is I'm endeavoring. And there's an opportunity not to ignore them or to be defiant to them, but to understand that they may not see as clearly your vision and understand from your heart space how important this is to you. And this is the frog offering emotional cleanup as you put other people's opinions in their rightful place. Because in the angel's advice, is Serena telling you that the money you need, the abundance you need, the resources you need will come, and God is in charge of how that will happen. And there's the trust card. And this is where you go back to really looking at what your needs are and being very clear about what they are as you begin to endeavor stepping out on the road to manifesting them. Because in the final position is Archangel Gabriel and the serpent. Archangel Gabriel refers to communications. She refers to arts. And for me, lately, she's been representing the sign of Gemini, representing our everyday activities, the communications that we endeavor every single day, and the internet, social media, etc. And I feel like this card right now is representing the angelic realm, offering to help you work through your insecurities as you shed a new skin and truly set an example for others as you leap off the balcony and fly towards your dreams in a very new way. And when I say new, it comes from the dynamic of what is important to you. What do you need versus thinking of it from a collective. And this is not a selfish thing. This is actually the opposite of selfish, because as you endeavor your dreams, you inadvertently invite other people to be brave and to jump off the balcony of their own dreams and to fly. All right, let's go on to angel reading C. And we have the Sun card. This is a beautiful card. It says, enjoy success and happiness. This is beautiful. So it seems pretty clear. The sun is starting to shine. I just got done saying we're ending winter, going into the spring season. All of the planets in the sky are pretty much moving forward at this point. And so we can start to see some forward action. In the foundational position is Archangel Michael, asking you to have the courage to set the tone for this new foundation. And this to me is very remnants of speaking with God, the angels, and specifically Archangel Michael, who not only will anchor your own courage, but protect you as you step out on a new footing. And your obstacle and your opportunity is to realize that much of what you are endeavoring comes from a receptive mode. It comes from sitting as the queen, knowing you are fertile in your creations, and that God and the angels are in charge of how that will take place. This opal talks about God being in charge of your children in heaven and earth and protecting them. For those of you that want to have children, this is very powerful because it is a card of fertility. It is a card of knowing that babies are going to come through, and there's a certain timing of their not only conception, but their actual birth. And I want to offer it this way because the Earth Fairy also deals with physical health. So if indeed you are of childbearing years, whether you're male or female, and you're ready to start a family, it's time to have courage to step out on a platform of trusting your own physical body and your intention to the universe to be the guide and the shepherd for a soul entering this planet. And if indeed you are not of childbearing years, then this opal card really represents your dream babies, the things you want to experience. So it's just the same dynamic, slightly different genre. In the Angel's Advice, we have the Movement card and we have Mystique. Keep charging ahead, expect miraculous solutions. Miracles are simply alignment to source energy. They are where you can feel in the depths of your heart, your soul, to your very being, that what you want to experience is on the docket. It is on the agenda. It is on its way. And this is where we're going to see movement, because now is a time when you are to bring this to you, invite it in versus going to try to chase it. In the final position, we have Xana and we have the cat. Xana is an angel of protection. So now we're seeing, for those of you that picked angel reading C, we're seeing protection coming in the form of Archangel Michael and in the form of Xana. And the cat right now to me is really representing independent thought. There is a very strong dynamic here that feels like, well, I want to go to people who are creating their dream babies and put all of these dynamics into that category. I more so want to go to the people that want to bring little souls into this earth. And if indeed you've had trouble with your fertility, that may be not your physical issue as much as it may have been an astrological dynamic where the soul itself said, you know what, things are really challenging right now, and every planet is squaring every other planet or opposing it, and that's going to present a really challenging birth path for me. So I'm going to wait a little bit and come in when the planets have calmed down a bit and they're more harmonious for me. So if indeed you've been trying to have a baby and you've had challenges, give it a rest in the sense of the stress, the fear, and start inviting that child in, invite that experience in, and then watch as things start to unfold much more succinctly and effortlessly. All right, that's it for this week's Pick an Angel card reading. My name is Teri Hunter. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to go into the description. My email address is there, and reach out to me. And we'll go from there. And hopefully I'll be back next week. It is my intention, but I'm having trouble with the construction. So, all right, guys, I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful week. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Bye-bye.